Which instructional strategy best supports adult learners who bring varied prior experiences to a NoRedInk certification training environment? A. Relying solely on lecture-based content delivery. B. Incorporating scenario-based tasks that connect skills to real-life contexts. C. Providing identical worksheets for all learners. D. Using only timed drills for skill practice. 2. During a formative evaluation of a writing skills module, which action most effectively measures learner progress? A. Administering a final exam. B. Observing learner completion time only. C. Using ongoing performance analytics and targeted practice reports. D. Asking learners to self-grade their work. 3. When designing a curriculum for NoRedInk certification instructors, what should be prioritized to ensure lasting skill transfer? A. Rigid content sequences. B. Application-focused activities with immediate feedback. C. Minimal interaction with learners. D. One-time assessments. 4. Which communication approach builds the strongest rapport with adult learners in a digital literacy certification setting? A. Delivering long, uninterrupted monologues. B. Speaking quickly to cover more material. C. Using clear, concise explanations and learner-centered dialogue. D. Providing instructions without opportunities for questions. 5. A key regulatory compliance requirement when managing learner data in an online platform is A. Sharing learner analytics publicly. B. Storing passwords in unencrypted formats. C. Applying privacy policies aligned with data protection standards. D. Collecting personal details beyond instructional need. 6. Which mentoring technique best helps new instructors prepare for administering NoRedInk certification assessments? A. Leaving them to independently explore materials. B. Providing guided shadowing sessions with debrief discussions. C. Giving them only the answer keys. D. Allowing them to skip evaluation training. 7. To ensure fairness in evaluation, which method should be used when scoring performance-based writing tasks? A. Applying consistent rubrics with predefined criteria. B. Relying on instructor preference. C. Changing criteria mid-assessment. D. Assigning scores based on completion speed. 8. When updating a curriculum, which factor is most important to consider first? A. Instructor personal preference. B. Learner analytics and performance data trends. C. Which modules are easiest to edit? D. Content that is most visually appealing. 9. Which communication practice ensures clarity when giving complex instructions? A. Using jargon heavily. B. Providing step-by-step guidance supported with examples. Speaking in abstract terms. D. Avoiding demonstrations. 10. A mentor helping an instructor improve assessment delivery should focus on A. Modeling effective pacing and feedback methods. B. Criticizing minor mistakes repeatedly. C. Avoiding the observation of live sessions. D. Replacing practice activities with lectures. 11. Which adult learning principle supports greater retention in certification training? Passive listening. B. Relevance to personal goals and professional needs. C. Memorizing without context. D. Repeating facts verbatim. 12. Which approach best supports accurate evaluation during adaptive writing tasks? A. Reviewing only the fastest responses. B. Monitoring performance patterns and misconception indicators. C. Ignoring system-generated data. D. Grading solely based on sentence length. 13. In developing a new certification module, the most effective curriculum alignment strategy is A. Designing assessments before identifying objectives. Building objectives, instruction, and assessment together. C. Writing random practice items first. D. Using unrelated instructional materials. 14. Effective communication during remote certification coaching primarily requires A. Slow responses to learner inquiries. B. Clear expectations and timely, supportive feedback. C. Avoiding visual aids. D. Limiting interaction to one message per session. 15. To maintain compliance during certification testing, instructors must A. Store confidential data on personal devices. B. Follow platform security protocols and policies. C. Share test items for practice. D. Modify test timer settings without authorization. 16. Which mentoring practice builds long-term instructional confidence? A. Encouraging reflective self-assessment. B. Giving vague improvement suggestions. C. Avoiding constructive critique. Pressuring rapid mastery. When analyzing learner results data, the most effective first step is A. Looking only at high-performing learners. B. Identifying patterns of consistent errors. C. Ignoring low engagement areas. D. Reviewing only the final task. 18. What should be included when designing learning objectives for a certification unit? Ambiguous expectations. B. Clear, measurable, skill-based outcomes. C. Broad, general statements. D. Non-assessable goals. 19. When explaining rubric guidelines to adult learners, the most effective method is A. Reading the rubric verbatim. B. Demonstrating examples of high, mid, and low-level performance. C. Letting learners interpret criteria independently. Avoiding sample responses. 20. A strong mentoring session for new instructors includes demonstrating best practices and providing actionable steps. B. Giving only theoretical explanations. C. Avoiding questions during discussions. Focusing on unrelated content. 21. Which evaluation method improves reliability in writing assessment? A. Multi-rater scoring with calibration. B. Single-rater scoring with no rubric. C. Scoring based on tutor preference. D. Changing scoring rules per learner. 22. Effective adult learning environments emphasize A. Instructor-controlled discussions. B. Collaborative problem-solving with peers. C. Memorization of long passages. D. Silent study without interaction. 23. When developing curriculum materials, which element strengthens learner engagement? A. Real-world scenarios that mirror workplace uses. B. Repetitive tasks without context. C. Minimal practice opportunities. D. Single-format instruction. 24. To maintain effective communication in instructor training sessions. A. Offer feedback only at the end of a course. B. Apply active listening and verify understanding. C. Avoid asking clarifying questions. D. Use only written communication. 25. A core principle of compliance during online assessments is A. Allowing learners to use unauthorized resources. B. Ensuring secure access and identity verification. C. Sharing login credentials among teams. D. Editing test content without approval. 26. Which mentoring method effectively supports skill growth? A. Goal setting with periodic progress checks. B. Limiting mentoring meetings. C. Offering only negative feedback. D. Assigning tasks without coaching. 27. A critical component of strong assessment design is A. Ensuring alignment between objectives and test items. B. Writing questions unrelated to course content. C. Avoiding pilot testing. Mixing random difficulty levels without planning. 28. Adult learners benefit most when feedback is A. Immediate, clear, and actionable. B. Delayed for several weeks. C. Generic and nonspecific. D. Provided only at the end of the program. 29. When reviewing evaluation data for improvement planning, instructors should A. Consider both strengths and areas for growth. B. Focus on mistakes only. C. Review no more than one metric. D. Ignore learner feedback. 30. In building certification curriculum, The most effective sequence is A. Instruction first, then objectives. B. Objectives first, instruction second, aligned assessment third. C. Assessments first, then unrelated instruction. D. Only objectives with no assessments. 31. A communication strategy that minimizes learner confusion is A. Chunking complex material into manageable parts. B. Presenting all information at once. C. Speaking with unnecessary technical vocabulary. D. Avoiding visual examples. 32. Instructors ensure compliance during online certification by A. Verifying adherence to academic integrity guidelines. B. Permitting unverified device usage. C. Allowing learners to disable monitoring tools. D. Ignoring identity confirmation. 33. When mentoring instructors on skill reinforcement, the most effective tool is A. Modeling corrective feedback techniques. B. Only giving written manuals. C. Avoiding practice demonstrations. D. Skipping observation opportunities. 34. Which approach increases validity in certification assessments? A. Measuring the intended skills with accurately aligned tasks. B. Using unrelated skills to test learners. C. Allowing subjective scoring. D. Adding tasks irrelevant to objectives. In adult learning, autonomy can be supported by A. Offering choice in practice tasks and pathways. B. Assigning identical tasks to all learners. C. Avoiding learner input. D. Limiting options to one activity. 36. Curriculum updates should be driven primarily by shifts in skill demands and database needs. B. Instructor personal preference. C. Requests for shorter modules only. D. Removing all advanced content.